everyone, Chris here, and welcome to my channel. For today's 5 on Friday, I'm going to do a round of These Books Will Self-Destruct. So I saw this on Becca from Becca and the Books channel, and basically, I believe the premise is she picks out a bunch of books, and if she hasn't read them in the next 12 months, she's unhauling them. So what I decided to do was pick out what appears to me to be 5 duologies. So really, there's 10 books. But I only have to read the first book before the end of the year. So if I've read the first book in the duology, I don't have to unhaul the second. But if I haven't read the first book by the end of the year, I have to unhaul both. Hopefully that makes sense. So the first 2 books I'm going to talk about are Reign of Shadows and Rise of Fire by Sophie Jordan. So the book I have to read is Reign of Shadows, and the back says, "A world of darkness, a love that shines. 17 years ago, an eclipse cloaked the kingdom of Relhawk in perpetual darkness, and in the chaos, an evil chancellor murdered the king and queen and seized the throne. Luna, the kingdom's lost princess, has been locked away in a tower in the cursed Black Woods ever since. Luna's survival depends entirely on the world believing she is dead, but that doesn't stop Luna from longing for a life beyond the stifling tower walls. When she meets Fowler, a mysterious archer who has braved the Black Woods in search of a land where the sun still shines, Luna is drawn to him despite the risk. When the tower is attacked, Luna and Fowler escape together, but this world of darkness is far more treacherous than Luna ever realized. With every threat stacked against them, Luna and Fowler find solace in each other, but with secrets still unspoken between them, falling in love might be their most dangerous journey yet." So this sounds like a YA fantasy that has a romance subplot. So by the end of the year, I will have had to read Reign of Shadows, or I will have to unhaul both Reign of Shadows and Rise of Fire. The next 2 I'm going to talk about is Magna and Airy by Maria Devana Headley. And Magna says, "Aza Ray is drowning in thin air. Since she was a baby, Aza has suffered from a mysterious lung disease that makes it even harder for her to breathe, to speak, to live. So when Aza catches a glimpse of a ship in the sky, her family chalks it up to a cruel side effect of her medication. But Aza doesn't think this is a hallucination. She can hear someone on the ship calling her name. Only her best friend Jason listens. Jason, who's always been there. Jason, for whom she might have more than friendly feelings. But before Aza can consider that thrilling idea, something goes terribly wrong. Aza is lost to our world and found by another. Magna. Above the clouds in a land of trading ships, Aza is not the weak and dying thing she was. In Magna, she can breathe for the first time. Better, she has immense power. As she navigates her new life, she discovers that war is coming. Magna and Earth are on the cusp of a reckoning, and in Aza's hands lies the fate of the whole of humanity, including the boy who loves her. Where do her loyalties lie?" So this sounds like a sci-fi, and I think this is YA as well. Actually, I think they're all young adult books. So again, I have to read Magna by the end of the year. I will be unhauling this and Airy. Next, I have The Marked Girl and the Broken World by Lindsay Klingeli. So, The Marked Girl is the first one, and it says, "Worlds collide in this exciting fantasy tale turned upside down. When Cedric, Crown Prince of Calum, and his fellow royal friends, including his betrothed cat, find themselves stranded in modern-day LA via magical portal and an evil traitor named Malquin, all they want to do is get home to Calum soon. Then they meet Liv, a filmmaking foster girl who just wants to get out of the system and on with her life. As she and Cedric bond, they'll discover that she's more connected to his world than they ever could have imagined, and that fighting home is no easy task." So I like that this is like a almost reverse Portal fantasy, where instead of somebody from our world going to a fantasy world, it sounds like these characters from this fantasy world will be coming to our world and having to try to figure out how to get back home. I think so far of the 3, this sounds most interesting, so I feel like of the 3 I've mentioned so far, this will be the one I'm most likely to get to, but we'll have to see if that changes. Again, I have to read The Marked Girl, and if I don't, I have to unhaul this and The Broken World. Next, we have 7 Black Diamonds and 1 Blood Ruby by Melissa Marr. So, 7 Black Diamonds is about Lily White Abernathy is half human, half fae, and since the time before she was born, a war has been raging between humans and fairies. The Queen of Blood and Rage, ruler of the Fae courts, wants to avenge the tragic death of her heir, a death that was the fault of reckless humans. Lily's father has shielded her from the repercussions of her ancestry. But when she's sent to the prestigious St. Columba's school, she's delivered right into the arms of a Fae sleeper cell, the Black Diamonds. Mysterious, glamorous, and constantly at odds, the Diamonds are planted as the sons and daughters of the most influential families in the human world and tasked with destroying it from within. Against her will, Lily's been chosen to join them. And even the romantic attention of the Fey rock singer Creed Morrison isn't enough to keep Lily from wanting to run back to the familiar world she knows. Melissa Marr returns to Fairy in a dramatic story of the precious space between two worlds and the people who must thrive there. So this one, we've got fantasy, and again, it sounds like it's got a bit of a romance subplot. I don't think I've read too many Fae books, so that could be an interesting twist on the YA fantasy kind of romance genre. Again, I have to read 7 Black Diamonds, or I have to unhaul both that and 1 Blood Ruby. And lastly, I have The Stars Never Rise and The Flame Never Dies by Rachel Vincent. So this says there's no turning back. 16-year-old Nina Kane should be worrying about her immortal soul, but she's too busy trying to actually survive. Her town's population has been decimated by soul-consuming demons, and souls are in short supply. Watching over her younger sister Melly and scraping together food and money are all that matters. The two of them are a family. They gave up on their deadbeat mom a long time ago. When Nina discovers that Melly is keeping a secret that threatens their very existence, she'll do anything to protect her. Because in New Temperance, sins are prosecuted as crimes by the brutal church and its army of black-robed exorcists. And Melly's sin has put her in serious trouble. To keep them both alive, Nina will need to trust Finn, a fugitive with deep green eyes who has already saved her life once and who might just be an exorcist. But what kind of exorcist wears a hoodie? Wanted by the church and hunted by dark forces, Nina knows she can't survive on her own. She needs Finn and his group of rogue friends just as much as they need her. So I like that this one sounds like it's got the family aspect with Nina and her sister Melly. It does seem like there could be a bit of a romance subplot in this one as well, with the introduction of Finn. I think that this would be my second most interesting of the 5 that I mentioned. Again, if I don't read The Stars Never Rise by the end of the year, I have to unhaul that and The Flame Never Dies. So these are the 5 books that I have to read by the end of the year, or they and their sequels will self-destruct. In the comments section below, let me know which of these books you think I should read first, and if you've read them, let me know if you think they're worth my time. If you made it this far in the video, leave me a bomb emoji. I'm pretty sure there is a bomb emoji. If not, leave me a dynamite emoji. That one I'm sure there is. Like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!